Meanwhile, in Iraq, military forces there are close to recapturing a key city from the Islamic State. Officials say they have reclaimed a government complex in Fallujah used as a base of operations by ISIS. Iraqi troops have been fighting for control of the city now for nearly a month in a relatively new offensive. So let's get to our foreign correspondent, Elizabeth Palmer, who's been tracking the developments for us from London. Liz, what is the latest here?
Well, about 6 o'clock this morning local time, the Iraqi Special Forces managed to push right into the center of Fallujah and take this government compound that you mentioned. It's highly symbolic because it is the symbol of the state, which has been in ISIS hands for the last couple of years, and they will have had their flag flying from the roof. However, it by no means indicates that the Iraqi army has managed to take the whole town. In fact, the fighting has shifted over a few blocks to the teaching hospital, which now appears to be where ISIS is dug in, using as a command center. It may be that some of the ISIS fighters pulled out of the center into the suburbs, which they also still control. So this battle is by no means over. However, if the Iraqi army can hoist the state flag over that government compound and get that message out, get the photograph or the video distributed widely, it is a symbolic defeat for ISIS, and that is going to damage their reputation because it comes on the heels of a whole string of very high-profile defeats.
Liz, as we've discussed, making this offensive exponentially more complicated have been the thousands of civilians still essentially trapped in that city. The cost, the human cost here has been potentially far greater with regard to those civilians whom the Islamic State has used essentially as human shields. What then do we know of the civilians still trapped inside?
Very little. The most solid estimate was of 50,000 about 10 days ago. Since then, some thousands have been able to flee, although it was very dangerous. And one of the big NGOs working in the area with refugees has documented instances of people being shot as they tried to flee by ISIS or being taken away by some of the irregular militias, the Shiite militias. Men and boys of fighting age have been taken away too. Nobody really knows, which is rather ominous. But there are probably several thousand left inside the city in a very dense residential area, not far from where the fighting is raging now. Some of those people will be just terrified civilians who will try and get out at the first available opportunity. Some of them may be ISIS sympathizers. And it's really not clear what will happen to them once the city, as it almost certainly will do, falls to the Iraqi army.
Liz Palmer in London again. We appreciate your reporting here. Thank you for your time.